Oh, hello there.
Let's see if it worked. Am I still here?
You're
Can you
still
hear me?
here. Yes, I can hear you.
Magic. I did it.
Congratulations. And welcome to episode 3 of the Book of Boba Fett review from 8750.
Heyo.
And there is our second guest. This is Kelsey here for 8750's review of the Book of Boba Fett, episode 3.
Oh, so formal.
Thank you, ladies, for joining me here this evening.
Oh,
Well-
thank you for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
First things first, Kelsey, what the fuck was up with you this morning?
I don't know, man. I was just not feeling good.
Your audio is trash.
Really?
Yeah, you are
God.
robotic.
Oh,
Well, it makes me think it's like an internet issue.
Well-
No, this ain't my first rodeo. It's probably her headset.
Oh.
it probably is the headset because I swapped it out because my other one is also trash. So I thought this one would be better, but hold please.
Literally, $15. You get the earbuds, you just plug into your phone, and you're good to go.
Hold please.
Uh-huh.
Holding.
Mrs. Yeti, did you hear her this morning? She took a big heaping dose of low self-esteem this morning.
No, she deleted everything like a sneaky bee.
Oh.
So I didn't get to read it.
Well,
but
here,
I-
let me tell you all about it. So she was just like, hey, do you think that like Aaron might be available, or do you think that do you think Cameron might be available to podcast? And I was like, moral of this story right now is that she is trying to look for anybody to do it other than her. Like, she doesn't want to be on the pod. She's been asked too many times, and she was like, no. I love being on the podcast, but I just feel like the listeners are getting really sick of me after hearing me so many times. And I was like, what are you even talking about? She's like, well, the ratings go down every time that I'm on. And I was like, bruh, I don't understand the ratings. And I look at them all day. What fucking magic crystal ball are you looking into where you understand like how who is on correlates with what episodes do better than others? Like, literally, the thing that I have found that makes episodes do better than others is what I title them. If I name it something provocative, it pops off. Like, the glass flip-flop is huge.
That's funny. Well,
And
that's
so-
good to know.
Kelsey, are you there? Yeah. Kelsey, we can't hear you.
Kelsey.
Kelsey, can you hear me? Well, yeah.
Kelsey.
So I think that has a ton to do with it. So I was like, well, what numbers are you getting? She's like, whenever you share like the screenshot of the thing. I'm like, what are you talking about? So first and foremost, like, if I'm having fun talking with you and like I'm having you fun, like we're having a good time on the pod, that's all that fucking matters, man. Fuck the listeners. I'm just kidding, but like, you know, we gotta have a good time, right?
Yeah.
Gotta have a good time talking with my homies, and that comes first. People, what am I trying to say? Like, I care what the listeners think about who's on.
People over ratings. At work, we always say people over process, but this is people over ratings.
Yeah. Like, if some dick on Twitter is like, yo, I don't like this Kelsey chick when she's on wow. It's like, well, guess who does like this Kelsey chick? Me. So, pound sand.
Yeah. Like we were saying, like there's people Adam Carolla has that you often are like, ah, like,
Yeah.
they're so annoying.
Many
they're there
years in a
forever.
row. Yeah.
And a big reason that they're there is because they make for an engaging show. And you can tell that they all know each other and that they all have a good like dialogue. So
Exactly.
that's what makes it a show that you keep coming back to, even if you don't like, I don't know. I wouldn't get too up in your head about dumb ratings, Kelsey.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay, thank God. I could hear you guys for most of that, but not
I know.
all of it.
Yeah.
It's because you changed mics and then your phone doesn't know what the fuck to do. So you gotta leave
Kelsey,
and you gotta come back.
are
Yeah.
you sick?
I am not feeling great.
Ah.
Me too. So I think that has something to do with your low self-esteem because I am a needy bitch. I
Yeah.
am I told Jeff 2 days ago, I was like, I'm gonna be a real puss about this.
It's like, I don't feel good and I'm gonna be a real puss. I was like, oh, just calling it like Babe Ruth before the pitch has even come across the plate. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna puss on this one for sure.
Well, what's funny is that like after I threw my big fit this morning, I was like, I don't feel good. And then I started crying in my car. I was like, I'm so emotional. I'm not by myself.
That was me last night. I was like, I'm going to bed early, but will you snuggle me for a bit? I'm sick.
Yeah, it fucking sucks.
It must mess with our hormones or something, because it's like, oh, like, feel bad for me.
Basically,
Totally.
Kelsey, don't you fucking worry about what people think of you. You're under my protection. I'm like Boba Fett and you're my piggy guard, all right?
Fennec?
I don't give two. Nope. I don't give two. Mrs. Yeti Fennec. I don't give two shits what that droid said. I'm not throwing you into a pit. God damn it. You're my piggy guard.
Can I be the biker chick that like?
Kelsey, no. Piggy guard.
I don't want to be a piggy guard.
Nobody does, but somebody has to be, and it's you.
No, I'd rather be the droid.
No, Dwight's the droid.
That's true. He is. Hi, Dwight.
So, episode 3, Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Yeah, where did it start? I already forgot.
Well, there was a spider crawling across the screen.
That's right. Was that like a robot, or is that supposed to be an actual creature?
I don't know. I thought it was the drone from the train at first.
Oh, it should have been. That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
I missed a whole lot. I had to have Jeff pause it and tell me what the fuck was happening.
Oh, it was
my
ridiculous.
brain just fucked off.
She wasn't like looking at her phone or anything. She was just sitting there staring at the TV, and then she goes, "Wait, what?" And I was like,
My brain is so fried.
She's like, "So they're not on Tatooine?" I'm like, "Yeah, they are on Tatooine." She's like, "But they just said another place." I was like, "That's the name of the town on Tatooine." She goes, "Oh."
Okay, but my first note is on the recap, because in the recap he's like, if you want, because the Hutts are like, oh, this is our territory, and Boba Fett goes, if you want it, you'll have to kill me for it. And I was like, okay, so clearly there is a reason he is willing to die for this thing that he's never laid claim to in his life, that he has only been present for, like, you know, a hot minute when he falls into the Sarlacc pit. And then, you know, comes out, which then we do find out later in the episode, spoilers, that like his little sand people tribe, Tusken Raider tribe, like they get nerfed, right? Like
they get nerfed?
Yeah.
They get murked.
They get offed.
They get offed. Nerfed just means like somebody came and patted them.
Why can't nerfed mean that they got killed?
Because nerfed means booped.
That's not what it means.
It's like you got booped.
No, nerfed is when you take an ultra powerful thing and make it weak.
Oh.
Oh, and I also like how the two Hutts, like jumping ahead a little bit, the two Hutts come, the twins, and they're like, you fuck this rock in the middle of nowhere, fuck Tatooine, it ain't even worth our time, we're out. It's like, haven't you idiots realized that everything important in Star Wars seems to happen here?
But maybe that's why. Maybe they're like, God damn it, shit won't stop happening here and fucking up our trade. So like,
that's true.
This is sunk cost.
They just want to. They want to eat their little gerbils and just hang out. They're sick of all these shenanigans.
That little gerbil that he was using to like dry off his sweat, I thought was a bunny at first. I was like, oh, he's using a bunny to like wipe off his sweaty brow.
Oh, so speaking of the recap, they were like, who sent the night wind? I don't know who sent the night wind. And I was just like, night wind sounds like the exact perfect thing to call a fart that you have in the middle of the night. You're just, oh, what was that? Oh,
working on the night wind.
Yeah, dude, Bob Seger knew all about the night wind.
Yeah.
So that was my first note. Second note is Stephen Glass. Oh no, Stephen Root.
Bill.
His name's Stephen Root. Yeah,
Bill
Bill.
from King of the Hill, right?
That's right. And
He's gonna be more of a character. Like he has
He
to.
has to
You
be.
don't pay for that actor and have him recite like 20 lines.
Exactly.
He's
Every
gonna do
time
way
you
more.
see somebody show up that you recognize, it's like, yep, they're gonna be a big deal. And so yeah, his name's Stephen Root, and he's the guy who's like, have you seen my stapler from Office Space?
Oh.
Yeah, and then did you watch King of the Hill, Kelsey?
Yeah, but I don't know who you're talking about.
He's
He's
Bill.
the voice of Bill.
The fat, dumb one who's bald, who always seems to mess everything up.
Yeah, but I don't know where he came in. Where did he come in?
He's the water guy.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's also in Man in the High Castle or whatever. So like that's a bigger actor.
He's
like,
in Barry also.
Oh, you're right. He is. Yeah, that dude, like, man, for the way he looks, he has done well.
He's got a lot of work under his belt. Yeah.
I didn't even recognize him.
That's what I'm here for. I recognize these types of things. Speaking of the mayor's,
skipping ahead. You guys are skipping way ahead.
Nuh-uh, to when Stephen Root came in?
Yeah.
What happened before that?
What did we miss?
So, because when the drone was like talking about the different areas of Tatooine and like the history and the ancestry and bullshit.
Yeah. That was the part that I could not process to save my life.
Yeah.
So lay it down, Kelsey.
Well, the only note that I had from all that, because I couldn't really process it either. But I thought it was funny that the drone was like, didn't want to say Jabba the Hutt because he was concerned that Boba Fett would be insulted. And I was like, wait, drones can be concerned?
Like, have you met C-3PO?
Yeah, but he's just a little bitch.
Hey, Anakin Skywalker built that little bitch. How dare you?
Well, it came from a child and it acts like a child.
But
so
like R2-D2 will even be like, Ree!
That's true. But I just thought that was kind of funny because that one in particular, that drone in particular that was like going over the history was like so deadpan and just like matter of fact. And then he's all like, I was concerned I might have insulted you.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's Matthew Berry's voice, and I love Matthew Berry. I'm telling you again, dear listener, watch The Toast of London on Netflix. Fucking mwah.
Yeff's kiss.
Toast of London.
Yeff's kiss. It's so funny.
Okay, sorry. That was my only note I wanted to share about that.
In the summary thing, like, I mean, basically what we took away is that, like, the territory is divided. And my understanding was that the mayor has part of it, and I don't fucking know who has another part of it. I feel like I need to go rewatch it. This is an educational review, dear listener.
Dudes with the fish face. Fish faces are the other guys.
Oh, but then we find out at the end that fish faces and were they pikes? Were they called pikes?
Pikes.
Yeah, but when the drone was going over the territories, the pikes didn't own any of the territories.
I know. Turns out the mayor, because all the people who own territories pay tribute to the mayor. Mayor's at the top of this little castle, right?
No, he's below the daimyo.
Nope.
Well, didn't Boba Fett tell him that like you don't have any authority unless the daimyo deems it so?
Maybe. So then the mayor is the one who said that Boba Fett, fuck that guy. Hey, Pikes, you guys can take his shit. I don't give a fuck. Like, you're good.
Yeah, but yeah. There was like some other group that was mentioned, and I bet you that's gonna be the other group that Boba Fett has to like go align with or some shit. I don't know. Clearly, it's not that important because all three of us, granted, we all probably have COVID right now. Did not.
I definitely do.
At all.
I have a test that says I do.
Well,
I don't yet.
I don't yet either. Mine said negative, but then like within that half an hour time frame, there was a teeny tiny little sliver of something coming up on my test. So we'll see.
Are you gonna take another one soon?
If I can find another one, that was one I just had left.
So your mic still sounds like ass. Can I please get you to buy a $15 Apple one that you just plug into your iPhone? Like fucking A, dude, they're $15.
So here's the deal. So both of my headsets fucked off. So now I'm just having to use my iPhone. So I just need to hold it closer to my face.
Okay, that works.
Okay.
So for real, that you didn't answer my question. Can you please?
Yes, I will. I was looking at them online before we even did this, so I'm on it.
Just get one of those. That's what I have, and I listen to my clips and all that kind of shit. I sound great.
I'm on it. I'll do that.
Jeff, we're sick.
I cried in my car this morning for no reason.
Nobody likes me.
I was so grumpy and emo, and I just don't feel good.
This is the saltiest review we will ever do.
The revenge of the salt.
Then Bill man comes in. I call him Bill. I don't remember what his real name is, but Bill comes in.
Stephen Root.
Yeah, Bill. And he, like, this whole time it seems sketchy that he's like trying to make this deal, but the entire time he's insulting Boba Fett while trying to make this deal. And I was like, well, that's fishy. Like, you've got something else up your sleeve here if you're like, well, I'm insulted on your behalf because they don't respect you. It's like, you can fuck off, right?
Yeah. He was also like seemingly kissing Boba Fett's ass while simultaneously being a dick.
Yeah, I think he's up to something. He's got some sort of play. He's trying to rip people off for sure.
Yeah.
And now he's insulted that Boba Fett would not let him rip people off.
Well, we'll get to that. We're not there yet.
Well, yeah, we are. Where are we then?
Well, we are at the part where he comes in and he's just talking to Boba Fett. We're not at the part where he just mentioned.
Bitch, you don't tell me what part we're at. I'll tell you what part we're at. And we've moved on.
Then Bill says this gang of fucking hooligans who are all droided out, like they're cyborg. Like we're combining Star Trek now. They're cyborg. And they took all my water. And so then Boba Fett goes and he rolls up and I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. His helmet's on. He's rolling up to a gang of no good doers.
Yeah.
This is going to be the badass moment.
Yeah.
And the instant he took his helmet off, both Jeff and I were like, fuck.
Yep.
Same. We were like, God damn it. One, why are you taking your helmet off? Like, that's slim pickings for them to just kill you right then and there. And then two, like, I don't remember two. Why would you take your helmet off?
He's like, trust me, I'm just a man under here, even though you're human droid.
You're cyborg.
Now,
they're cyborg.
What I noticed about them immediately is they dress like posh punks that are in London today, like right now. And they all talk like that, governor. Like, hey, we're going to go down to fucking cheeky Nando's. Yeah, we're going over to have Nando's. Like,
and they drive Vespas.
Who the fucking Star Wars ever has spoken like that? Like,
dressed like that.
They stood out
on
so
Tatooine.
much.
Or drove cars like that. And like, again, their little motorcycles, they totally look like old lady Vespas.
Yeah, they looked fucking stupid. Now, hold on real quick. I get it. What they wanted to do is they wanted to have a bunch of like punk kids who their biggest thing in the world is making these fucking Vespas, and that's what they put all their pride into. And they're like, they're kind of like punks, but cyborg punks. Like they're steampunks, basically. You could have done that, but not done it so shittily. Like they should have had a bunch of scrap that they all made, like they put together, like each one of them has a different bike, not just different colors and different mirrors, but like some of them should have been made out of like pod racing parts, and other ones are like from half of a speedster or a speeder, and half of them from some other fucking like I don't know what's another good vehicle that they cruise around on.
I don't know.
What you get. What I mean?
Bikes or whatever.
It should have been a hodgepodge collection of parts that they then. You can tell that they put their time into. Like it may be a piece of shit, but they have waxed their piece of shit and tried to make it look nice. But no. These things look like crisp, clean, weird fucking things out of like Wall-E.
Yeah, and And the other thing that the mayor's little secretary was driving was like an old Chevy, like one of those really old 1950s super rad. Like,
yeah, dude, Luke drives one of those in A New Hope, but nice eye, kid, nice eye.
Stupid.
Okay, it may be stupid, but that at least is a reference to actual Star Wars.
The thing is that you're right, Jeff. They wanted to like create these like punk kids, but they created them as if it was like, you know, one of the like it was a city in present day. Or I would have bought it if they were on a planet like from one of the prequels. That's like all, you know,
like
super
Coruscant.
City yeah, Coruscant. That was the name. Like I would have bought it more if we were there. But they developed punk kids for that environment and just put them in a desert environment. It's like, well, wouldn't there be sand and shit all over their stuff? And wouldn't like even going out once, like going on the trip from like their palace thing to the city, I would expect them to have some sand on it. So it's
their
like
little Vespas would have been sandblasted and not have that nice paint job anymore.
For sure.
Yeah.
It stood out, and it was like, yo, this immediately makes me question, like, what the fuck are you guys doing? This does not feel like Star Wars at all. This just feels odd.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what one of the things that Mahler says about like episode 7, especially with how J.J. Abrams likes to write and then end up directing, is he likes to put style ahead of story. It's like, oh, but it looked cool, dude. Like, it'd be a cool wallpaper. Like if you got those guys together in front of their Vespas, like that'd be a fun wallpaper for your phone. It's like, I guess, but like it makes no fucking sense. And they're probably like, they probably have some lore specialist, like a Dwight that's hanging out. And it's like, he's like, excuse me, that makes no. And they're like, hey, shut up, goddammit. We're going to sell toys.
Well, and all their bikes were like the same, but painted a different color. And they were all like bright colors. Like they were the fucking Power Rangers or some shit.
Right. This is the same planet where fucking Anakin and his mom were slaves, but these guys are driving around on Vespas.
Yeah. Fucking weird.
Yeah. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Everybody wears robes. They're wearing leather jackets and like big pop collars. Nah, dude. Fucking garbage.
Yep. So then Boba ends up employing them when he took off his helmet and was like, oh, shit's been rough for you? This guy's overcharging you? Okay, well, let's just throw him less than half of what he's charging you, and that'll settle it, and then y'all can work for me.
Now that I like. I do like that part.
But I feel like it still could have been done better. Like, I get that he has to, like, amass his little army. He has to, like, grow the number of people that are allegiant to him. But the whole point is that the entire city doesn't respect him. And like this is a city that is really hard and like force, like that's kind of their language. I don't think that just like that.
Like, oh god.
Oh, you said so. All right.
That would be like
you, old man. So it's like you need like there needed to be some sort of actual struggle. I feel like, and then to understand. Like a struggle with one of them because he finds one of them and then chases after them and then he ends up like running into their little hidey hole area where all of them are and he notices they're living in poverty and like they actually need money and
whoever
this guy is
on that show
them.
Is in charge of the budget and how many episodes there are right now is going, no, cut it. Cut it.
Yep. Yeah, because it was really short. Like they just automatically like pledged allegiance to him and like didn't even know anything about him. And he doesn't really know anything about them other than they were getting gypped on their water.
Yeah.
Well, that they said they were.
Mrs. Yeti, your mic is rubbing.
Sorry, I needed water so I didn't cough. I apologize.
What was I going to say? Oh, I do like, though, the idea that you just came up with, though. That nobody in this town respects him. He's like, hey, come work for me. And they're like, okay. It'd be like if the manager of Best Buy was like, hey, come sell TVs for me. You'd be like, no. Fuck that, dude.
You're on a failing business. Like, no. Why would I come work for you?
I'm not going to come work at Best Buy. Fuck off.
Yeah.
I'll take my chances on the internet selling skeet rags. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep. So then Boba goes and gets in his little tank.
Yes. And now Kelsey, Now this is a flashback. You ready?
I know. I even wrote flashback in my notes.
I wrote doodaloo 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 in my notes.
Yeah.
So he goes rolling into town.
Wait. But when he has all those people join him, my thought was, okay, so they're just like, I get that he has to have his own little army, but they're just surrounding him with people who are capable and he's not capable. Like he's apparently gaining all this like trust, which I mean, you could say that Jabba the Hutt was the same, right? Like he couldn't do shit. He was just a fat slug. That sat on his throne, so he had other people do his bidding for him. But like you would think that since this is Boba Fett, who's a bounty hunter and like he knows how to fight and all this stuff, that he would, you know, be a little bit more badass.
See, I do like that his crew is a bunch of hodgepodge weirdos that I bet will meet along the way. I do like that, but you are right. Now he's surrounded by a bunch of people that, like, those people couldn't even fight when the Wookiee showed up. Like, yeah, it's a big Wookiee assassin, true, but there's like 5 of you.
Totally. Which we haven't gotten to that part yet.
I know. No.
Yeah, so now we're flashbacking to when Boba's leaving the Tusken Raiders to go talk to the Pikes. And what was so funny to me was that when he entered the city, they had all these stormtrooper helmets on spikes. And I was like, you know, there's people under those, right? Like, like instead of like putting their heads on the spikes, they just put their helmets on the spikes. And I was like, that's fucking weird.
Well, that's in The Mandalorian.
So funny, though. I guess I didn't catch it in The Mandalorian, but it was still pretty funny.
I think it's supposed to be a shout out to The Mandalorian because then also in the background, you see Amy Sedaris' character, the one who fixes his ship on Tatooine with those little robots from episode 1.
No, it was like episode 2 or something of The Mandalorian.
No, episode 1, like the Phantom Menace episode 1.
She was there?
Oh,
in
yeah,
this one, though?
she walked by in the background, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
I
Amy
missed it.
Sedaris isn't in the Phantom Menace.
No shit, those robots are though.
Yeah, okay, but the way that you were talking to me is... Yeah, okay.
I said
anyway.
Amy Sedaris walks by with those little robots that are from episode 1.
Gotcha. Well,
Yeah.
but like a lot of people don't know who Amy Sedaris is.
Okay, she's the... that's why I said she's the one who fixes his ship in The Mandalorian, the chick with no eyebrows.
And she babysits Baby Yoda.
Yes.
Yeah, she babysits.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what matters.
Mrs. Yeti, you got COVID out the goddamn eyeballs, all right? Your ability to track information is ass. Don't fight with me.
No, I guarantee you people, like, because you said Amy Sedaris and the droids, you know, she fixes his ship and the droids from episode 1. So it made it sound like the package was from episode 1. And it was like, no.
I'll show you a package, all right?
No, we do it conservative style.
You show it to her like all the time, like
yeah, I chase her around the house and she goes, no, it's fun. It's a fun game we have. Anyway, so he shows up, he goes to Fish Face. Fish Face is like, hey, we already paid money for protection for the fucking Dead Sea or whatever it's called. I ain't paying you. And Boba Fett's like, no, you should pay me because I do and they're like, nah, bitch, get the fuck out. And he's like, okay.
yeah. That was so weird to me. Like he was just like, I'll handle it. Like,
yeah,
you'll pay us and I'll handle the other people you paid.
He should have started beating the crap out of people in that room and been like, no, you're gonna pay me and then you can stop paying them. That's how this is gonna work. But instead he's like, all right, I'll get back on my bantha and travel at -1 mile per hour back to the hut. Like, dude, walking is faster than those banthas, man.
Totally. And then he gets there.
That was
the
another part where I was like, what happened? I could not track conversation.
Did my explanation help?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so they're paying protection to another gang, and they're like, so you can go fuck yourself. But like,
no, but they say no. They ended it though, because Boba Fett was like, "Oh, you don't have to worry about them anymore," and then the fish dude was like, "We look forward to doing business with you."
Yep.
So it was
meaning that now Boba Fett's got to go handle these other guys. But I feel like a badass Boba Fett would have been like, "No, you're fucking paying me, or I'm killing you." because I just fucked up your whole train.
Oh yeah,
and
I guess he
held your
walked
guys-
away with no money. That is
he walked
not
out with no
good.
money, and now
Yeah.
he's got to go fight the other people. He should have been like, nah, bitch, you pay me, and I don't give two shits what your arrangement is with these idiots. You're paying me.
Yeah, but remember, this is a flashback. So he wasn't the daimyo or whatever at this point. He was just some,
But
like-
he's still Boba Fett.
He's still supposed to be a badass, dude.
I mean, I agree. He is still supposed to be a badass, but as we saw in previous episodes, he's a total puss.
I
and
know.
He sucks at fighting.
It's
But
like,
pretend it's Geralt from The Witcher. Pretend Geralt from The Witcher wanted money from somebody he had no respect for. Do you think he'd be like, all right, I'll go away? Or do you think he'd be
No.
like, well, I'm going to have to fuck you up then?
Yeah.
so it's like this is what they did. Boba Fett, the actor that plays him, is older and doesn't have many prospects. So he's like, if you want me to do this, my face is gonna be in it. And then they were like, fuck, you are not as able-bodied as we would like, and that means we can't do stunt doubles a lot.
Yeah.
So then they
No.
were like, oh, how do we make it so he can be more of a puss and we can have other people do all the heavy lifting around him?
I don't think so.
He'll go through a spiritual journey with the sand people and he will become more peaceful, like a monk.
I don't think so. I think that they just are not writing the story, or not necessarily the story, but having that old guy be Boba Fett, that's fine. Because every time he fights, he should have his fucking helmet on, which is when you can put a stunt double in there.
I
It's
know, but
not
what I'm
even a
saying is
problem.
that like he probably was like, no, my face needs like a certain amount of screen time. Like,
You're Disney. You have all the power in these negotiations. I don't understand what leg he has to stand on. Because the whole reason that they did The Mandalorian and had a random guy who looks like Boba Fett was so that they could tell a Boba Fett-esque story. Like, regular fans will be like, I know that guy. He looks different, but I know that guy. But they don't have to be tied to all the lore and all the bullshit that goes along with Boba Fett. They can tell a brand new story. That's why they had IG-88 in The Mandalorian, but they called him IG-11. They're like, oh, he's just a different guy. Because IG-88 is an established character with an established history. So they were like, I don't want to deal with the history. I just want to tell my own story with a cool droid. He's IG-11 now. And they're like, okay. And then they end up making a Boba Fett show anyway. Now it's like, well, what the fuck, man? Is everything that you're going to do, Disney, just have these guys with these T's on their helmet? Like, what the fuck? So I don't even understand why they decided that, like, now we're going to tell a Boba Fett story, but
it's not gonna be anything like being a bounty hunter.
Yeah, he's not going to be a bounty hunter. So, let's talk about what we know about Boba Fett. He's a badass. Like, Darth Vader was like, he looks at him in The Empire Strikes Back, and he's like, no disintegrations. And he points at Boba Fett like, man, I'm looking at you, Boba. And Boba's like, come on, gang. I light fuckers up from time to time. What of it? So he's supposed to be a badass, and he's a bounty hunter. And what is he in this show? He's not a badass, and he's not bounty hunting.
Well,
the
that's
fuck
what
are
I
we doing?
mean. Like they had him go through this spiritual journey, and now he's a puss. And I feel like part of the reason might have been because the dude is old. So what are you
I
gonna do?
feel
With
like
him?
dealing with the guy being old is not nearly that big of an obstacle. I mean, his character wears a helmet all the fucking time. Come on.
Yeah, but that's where I'm saying like the actor negotiations.
Yeah, but that's wild
come in.
speculation. We don't know that at all.
I know, but that's the whole point of this review. We're allowed to wildly speculate. Isn't that what all your Star Wars nerds do all the time anyway? They're like,
Totally.
we got a USB from
Yeah.
the parking lot.
That's Mike Zero.
at the Burger King that's down the street.
Yeah. Yeah.
From
All these Lucasfilm
Lucasfilm.
people, they go to that Burger King though, and it was on a Boba Fett jump drive. Like, dude, this is legit intel, man. I found it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, so Boba Fett goes back to his Tusken Raider village, and it's all been nerfed, as Kirsten.
Yeah.
Or I mean, as Mrs. Yeti says. Sorry.
Somebody nerfed the hell out of those Tuskens.
They nerfed him hard.
Nerfed them real hard.
Yeah. And then there was like remember when in the first episode when that water farmer got fucked up and then they sprayed that something on the wall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, well,
The
and
gang
you were like,
symbol.
and you were like, I guarantee you that's going to be important at some point in the future. Well,
Yeah.
here it is.
Here it is.
Guys.
It is.
They spray painted that same fucking logo on a tent somewhere.
So
in the nerfed village.
In the nerfed
Did anyone
village.
else not feel that bad for the Tusken Raiders? Were you
No,
still like,
I didn't feel
they
that
kind of
bad.
suck still?
They're assholes in everything but this. I
Yeah, I
think the
didn't
only
feel bad
reason
for
that
them.
they're respected in this is because it's like, oh, they're kind of like Native Americans when you think about it. So like maybe they should have just a misunderstood history, and it's these goddamn colonizers that came along, and that's the beef, man. They don't respect the desert like the fucking sand people do. It's like, oh god, they raped Anakin Skywalker's mom. Okay.
Like, I didn't even feel bad for the little kid that died. I was like, oh, bummer.
You're
Anyway,
kind of a nutsack anyway.
yeah.
Is that why he pulled out from his cloak the little stick to imply the kid got nerfed?
That's what I didn't understand. They made it look like he put his weapons on the fire, but then he was walking away with them, and I was like,
Yeah.
I think it was their weapons.
I do too, but in the moment you don't like he doesn't have them on his back, and it's like, what the fuck? Why?
But then he
why are you
reaches
putting
into his
these-
robes and he pulls out a little stick, and I was like,
Yeah,
that has to be to imply the kid bit the dust too, right?
but they showed the kid's body. I
Yeah, they
thought.
showed the kid's body.
They did.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I was paying attention. I don't understand how I missed that, but like, okay.
Yeah, they did. I mean, if me and Mrs. Yeti are as sick as we are, and Stacey and we
Your
both were like,
argument
yeah.
holds no water. If you're like, if the two delirious ones saw it, it must have been there.
No, it was there. It was.
The two delirious ones, one of which knows fuck all about Star Wars.
It was there, man. It was there.
I
I'm
saw
telling
it.
you.
It was real to me, damn it.
It was.
All
So
right.
then
Yeah.
he walks off, and then his little slumber in the diaper tank is interrupted by the bigger, badder Chewie.
The bigger, badder
Kelsey's
Chewie.
worst nightmare.
Yeah, that thing's creepy as fuck. Yeah.
I like. It's just not that badass looking
Oh,
when
hey.
you watch a Chewie fight, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
Mrs.
and what
Yeti.
a puss move to like get him while he's sleeping. Like, come
Well,
on. Like,
he's an assassin. That's what they do.
yeah, but
Mrs.
it's
Yeti.
Sushi.
What am
Pull
I
down
doing now?
just pull down your pull down menu, and you'll see like what mode your microphone is on. Is it on voice isolation?
I don't know.
Do what I said. Pull down the top thing.
Standard
Oh, never mind.
voice isolation. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now,
Yeah.
but you too were a little pixelated like Kelsey, so I was wondering.
I feel like it's just the internet.
Mine is on voice isolation too.
I've been noticing that standard does a little better.
Well, okay, I'll go to standard.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, he
I
starts
get why
getting.
you're always like, everyone must just think I'm insane. It's like,
In my ears, I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like, Kelsey is a lost cause. I already tried yelling at her, and it's not getting any better. All I can say to you, Kelsey, is listen to this when I put it out on Patreon, and you'll be like, fuck, that sucks. You're right.
No, I knew the headset was going to be a problem, so I tried to upgrade it, and it fucking didn't work. I tried, okay? I just need to buy a new one, and I'm aware of that, and I was looking online before we even did this.
Little Miho came onto the podcast once upon a time, and I was like, bro, how do you sound so good? And he was like, Apple earbuds. And I was like, I will buy them.
Apple 8 earbuds.
no, just
Apple earbuds,
just
dude.
Earbuds, wired
Oh.
earbuds.
Yeah, make sure they're wired.
Okay.
Because surprisingly, yeah, dude, like what are they called? AirPod Pros. Like we have those, and I sound like ass on those. So okay, so
Bigger,
Boba
better,
Fett
Chewy.
gets his ass handed to him,
Yeah.
which is
But-
fine. Like a Chewbacca is like
How
they're
did
supposed
he
to be
get
stupid
in?
strong.
He is giant. How did he
Yes.
get in?
That was my note too. Like, as far as a sneaky assassin goes, like, bro, you're the biggest, loudest, hairiest, stinkiest, the fucking thing in the galaxy, dude. How are you sneaking up on anyone? He's got 1,000 beads in his hair. You don't think those rattle?
Yeah.
I just like we have only ever seen that there is one way into this fucking palace, and that's through a giant ass gate.
Right.
And why does this Wookiee never talk? He never goes, "Ah," or like whatever the fuck
I think
noise
he
it is that they
did
make.
right before they let him go. Spoilers.
Who are you saying spoilers for? This is for people who have watched the episode.
I don't know. It's
If you
fun.
haven't seen the episode, this is all spoilers. You're just spoiling further ahead
But
in
if
the
you're
episode.
someone who is like, fuck that, I don't want to watch it, but I want to hear Jeff rip on it,
Yeah.
then it is kind of spoilers because they don't yet know what's going to happen in the episode.
You know what? You are right, because Tony Z is exactly that person.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's who I was thinking of. We got you, Tony Z.
We got you.
So then the new gang of, Power Rangers comes to Boba Fett's aid as he's getting his ass kicked by this Wookiee.
And the chick walks up semi-urgently with a knife and stabs him, and that's it.
Well,
Stabs and then just stares.
hold on. So
hi.
You don't want to follow up?
the best part about all of that to me was when Wookiee took a big ass bite out of the pig.
Yeah, poor little
I was
piggy.
like, yeah, he just wanted some bacon. Like, he's hungry. He's been fighting.
He just views the pigs as like energy bars. He's like, oh yeah, come here.
Yeah. He's like,
Oh, that's good.
Nom nom nom.
That's good pork, baby.
Yeah.
They're basically a ripoff of the Angry Birds pig. Come here.
Yeah. Like, yes, my lunch is here. Fuck.
Bite you and back in the action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
So nobody could really fight him. And then
No,
they
they-
yeet him into the pit.
Except for then they have that really weird moment where the Wookiee's just like hanging on and not falling into the pit, and the three Powder Puff girls are just standing looking at him. And it's like, do you want to step on his toes? Do you want to shoot him?
Do anything.
Literally anything. And then Fennec is just like, let me get my knife.
Yeah, and then she just like flings it like a quarter.
The only reason I can think that they did that is to show us that she has a knife hidden in her gun, and that might come up later. Because, yeah, that makes no fucking sense at all. Unless they just wanted Fennec to have another, like, I'm the badass here moment. It's like, we fucking
That's
get it,
probably
dude.
what it was.
It's always
You know what would
Fennec.
have given her a badass moment? Actually fighting the bigger, badder Chewie.
Right.
Yeah, instead of letting him eat a pig.
They probably wanted to give the kids
maybe
something
you
to
know
do.
what would have also been cool is maybe if Boba Fett and Fennec like had some sort of like tandem fighting sequence, and we could see how it's like, yeah, they've been like partners for a long time, so like they know how to read each other's moves and like look at how cool they can fight against an enemy.
Nah, the
Nah.
Four Stooges tried.
Fucking
Failed.
Boba Fett's just passed out next to his diaper tank, and Powder Puff girls are standing being like, I don't know what we do. He's just hanging there.
What do we do? What do we do?
And Fennec's like, I was eating a turkey leg. What the hell is happening?
And then once he falls in the pit, Boba Fett shows up in his like bathrobe. Not like a badass Sith looking robe like he wear. No, it's like a bathrobe. He's like, what I miss, guys?
Yeah, like he just like that was funny to me too. I was like, what the fuck? Like instead of just like fighting in his underwear, he's like, oh, they got this. I'll just go put my robe on.
Yeah. It's
And
like,
then leisurely stroll out there and see what's happening.
he looked like my dad when I was like a teenager, and he'd like come downstairs
Yeah.
to bitch at me to turn down the TV. Hey,
Yeah.
shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Oh shit, sorry.
He was awakened from his nap in his water tank and then was like inconvenienced and mildly upset.
What the fuck is going on down here? I'm playing Call of Duty. Shut the fuck up with that Call of Duty. I gotta go to work tomorrow. It's like, shit, dude. Dad's pissed.
Yeah. So they
So-
drop the Wookiee in the pit and he like hangs out there, and then like the next day the twins come with a gift.
That's right. The gift of a new Rancor. And you know that fucking the character who's the new Rancor keeper is going to be important because it's played by Machete.
Machete.
Who?
So dude, Machete. You don't know fucking Machete?
No.
What? Kelsey,
Machete.
Jesus Christ. He's in everything.
I
You've
mean,
seen
I
him.
recognized his face, but what?
Okay.
is
Well,
that
his name is
you're
Machete.
saying?
That's his name.
Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo, aka Machete.
Machete.
Okay.
She goes, "Oh, okay, like we're assholes for knowing something that everyone should know."
I'm sick.
I'm sick. Leave me alone. Why does everybody hate me?
That's gonna be my excuse for the next like at least 3 days.
No, you got to go look at John and be like, "I plan on being a real puss about this."
I probably will tell him as soon as we're done.
I get home from the doctor today, and Mrs. Yeti just looks like she wants to die because she had to work, and then she had to watch the baby for like an hour while I was gone. And she's like, "How did you do this while you were this sick? I can't do it."
I know, I feel that.
Well, okay. Full story though. I had work meetings starting at 6 a.m. today with Israel. And I had back-to-back meetings almost all day. It's fucking exhausting.
I know.
One of those, a 3-hour meeting that I had to talk to you and get my buddies to align with me on.
Yeah, little buddies.
Yeah.
I mean, I came up the stairs because we're having to use our basement bathroom because our current bathroom is under construction.
Oh no.
So anyway, I came up the stairs and my husband was in the kitchen and he was like, "Your eyes are super glossed over. Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No." I feel like ass.
Yeah. We cannot function.
No. It's terrible.
Yeah.
So he gets his new Rancor, and here's another part that I did like. At first, I didn't. They were like, "Oh, like Rancors are actually super emotional and like in touch." And like a lot of people just think of them as like these awful monsters, but actually they're really sweet. And at first, I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And then I was like, "Oh, it's like a pit bull. Oh, it's like a pit bull. Yay!" It's like everybody thinks that they're like for fighting and they're these vicious dogs, but they're sweet. And I was like, "Oh, I like this."
Well, and I was like, well, that makes sense why the keeper, when
Like, was
Luke
so
Skywalker, when Luke Skywalker kills him, because I did go back and watch that after you scolded me so bad.
Yes.
So
the whole movie or just that part?
Just that part.
Ah.
But I went and watched it and I was like, well, that makes sense why the guard was so sad.
I know. He was
was
so emotional. It
'Cause
was
it's
like a
Betty.
His little pit bull died. It was so
Like
sad.
a puppy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but then also the whole time, like after like they take the blindfolds off and he's like petting it, the eyes are getting all shifty, and I'm like, do you trust this thing? And Machete's like always kind of like semi on guard. Just like let's keep an eye. And then Boba Fett walks away and he's like, "Don't worry, he will be back." As if him and the fucking Rancor have like a little like
Bond
side
already.
hustle going on. And that was the other thing that didn't make sense to me. He's like, oh, he imprints on like the first human he sees, and it's like, but then you are what?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
thought about that too. And then I thought it was funny that Boba Fett wants to ride him.
That's gonna be rad. You know
He's
that's
like-
gonna happen in the last episode.
He's like, I want to ride a Rancor.
Fuck yeah, you wouldn't. If
I
you
mean-
knew that was an option, you wouldn't be like, "Yeah, dude."
I mean, he was like talking about it as if it was like folklore from like thousands of years ago. And then Boba Fett's like, yeah, bitch, make him my bitch.
I love that. That's exactly what I would do. If some Danny Trejo was like, "Dude, there's legend that people could ride this direwolf," I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm gonna ride that direwolf, dude."
Yeah. I just thought that was funny. I was like imagining him like just riding it.
Oh,
So
I
funny.
bet you don't have to imagine it for much longer. I bet he'll be riding that thing by the end of this.
Oh, I can't wait. It's gonna be
gonna be-
epic.
Epic.
So yeah,
Right.
so then
It's
the
also
Hutts-
shifty that the Hutts are just like, bye.
yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Like the Hutts were like, yeah, we're leaving. So you can keep our
We were here
Wookiee.
2 days.
Yeah, keep our Wookiee, keep this fucking fuckity fuck territory, and and we're out.
Fuck it, we out.
But have a Rancor on your in your fucking shitty ass fucking planet. Bye.
And guaranteed, like bigger, badder Chewie is gonna be a Boba Fett buddy, since he was like, fuck off. I'm not gonna kill you.
Yeah, he was like, "You're free, Free Willy."
Yeah.
Yeah, he should have put his fist up and been like,
And then
yeah.
he like runs off in the most awkward way ever. Just
Totally.
like,
It was so funny.
like okay.
He just scampers off behind a rock.
Yeah, that was funny.
They should have inserted that like.
Yeah. I
That
also
was
liked
great.
that the Rancor was like a baby and it was depressed.
Sad.
It was a sad little baby Rancor.
But
He's
then what
just
makes
sick.
him not sad?
Yeah, he's sick.
He got a rubbing.
Oh, okay.
He got schnuggos
He got schneggos. You know,
while he
feels
was
bad.
sick.
He got his schneggos.
Hmm.
Mrs. Yeti. What did you want him to have? Like a peanut butter chew toy or something?
I don't know, man. Like,
Your mic's rubbing.
I know the dog needed adjustment.
Just hold it.
Mm-hmm. I'm holding it. I didn't even drop it.
And now that's the type of thing that'll be edited out by Anchor, and I'll just look insane.
Yeah.
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 So then
So-
after the Huts fuck off, the mayor is unavailable to take their call for 20 days.
You're right.
So Boba goes over there.
And again, like a little bitch, just says like, "Hey, can we get in?"
I know. Just walk in and slap that guy in the face and then just continue forward.
And
Don't
the
even
guy-
break your stride just as you're walking. Slap and then just keep going.
Which just cracks me up because that guy seriously has a mullet.
Yeah, he does. I want to know, the mayor's assistant looks so familiar to me. I got to figure out what actor plays him.
Yeah, he does seem really familiar. Also, what's the point in any locking door in this universe? It seems
Right.
like it's incredibly easy to get into any locked door.
Yeah, you just plug your droid into it or have your cyborg friend fuck with it. Like, yeah, dude.
Or you punch it and flip it out with a knife and then
Yeah.
like spark
Fennec
it.
just stabbed it with a screwdriver and it fucking opened.
in moments. It took them 2 seconds. Then they're like, in.
Yeah. And then the little mayor's assistant ran away in his Corvette, and then the bikers chased after him. And I think the
Oh my
only
God.
reason for that scene was so that they could plug in a whole bunch of droids that are reminiscent from the older.
Yeah, a bunch of
Star Wars.
references to aliens that we've seen before. Yeah, it's just a bunch of references. In the meantime, it looked so weird. It was like it was way too slow for how fast things were going. It did not like, I don't know what it was, man. It looked off.
Looked really,
Yeah.
the way things like fell didn't feel like they were falling at the right rate. Like it was weird.
Yeah, and
It
their
didn't look
bikes
right.
were moving too slow for like how they were rounding corners and shit. Like I noticed that too, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
It was like
Also,
the dust
if you
being
want
kicked
to
up.
look like a bitch and not a badass, look
Yeah.
like you're taking a shit
Yeah, it looked like you're taking a shit on a
and
neon
moving
bike.
in the wind.
Yeah,
on your yellow Vespa
on your yellow Vespa.
with
That
its
was-
little flower basket in the front.
I don't understand how people, because like people come up with this idea and they're like, and then they start like putting it all together, and then they got to be like, and then they see the final product, and by the time you see the final product, now it's too late. You're fucked. But all along the way, did nobody go, hey? It's kind of weird that we have like a Vespa like on Tatooine in Star Wars, don't you think? And somebody must have been like, hey, pipe down.
Or like someone was probably at some point like, "Hey, where did they get the neon pink paint?"
Yeah,
Like-
have you ever seen something this bright on Tatooine ever before?
Or what about this teal blue or this bright yellow? Like, is that even a thing on Tatooine?
They had reflective mirrors. Like one of them had like 16 mirrors on each side. Like
Totally.
why? To merge into traffic? Like we have fucking mirrors on our cars and Vespas here because we merch and we need to know what's behind us. I've never seen a speeder with a goddamn mirror on it.
What I want to know is that was the final product. What was the original ideas? Right?
know.
Like if that's where they ended. Or was it one of those situations where they were like, all right, you're going to be this ragtag team. You're going to have scooters. What do you want it to look like? And then the actors got to pick or something to be
Actors didn't get a pick.
like, I don't know. I thought that was like
This
a
is
thing
not
with
community
like
theater.
I thought that was a thing though with like the prequels, like they gotta pick their lightsabers or something like that.
Only Mace Windu got to, and it's because it was Samuel L. Jackson, and he was like, "Yo, I'll be in your movie, but I want a purple lightsaber." And George Lucas was like, at first, no, he was gonna have a green one, but then after they filmed all the scenes, George was like, "I gave you a purple one," and Samuel L. Jackson was like, "Fuck yeah!"
No, but like even their hilt, like they gotta pick. I remember watching like the special effects stuff or the special.
Well, a hilt on a
special
lightsaber is a
editions.
far cry from a big fucking Vespa.
I know. I'm just saying. Like I'm theorizing.
Okay. Oh, cool theory.
So you know
Wait,
what else was
What
fucking
were
weird?
the ideas that led up to that? That was the final
I
product.
don't know.
They
I don't
had
know.
other options that they weighted against each other. That or they let a bunch of teenage idiots that are actors pick what it looks like because they don't fucking know anything. And they're
No,
just like, it'll look cool.
I think the majority of Lucasfilm is run by purple-haired fucking SJW weirdos, and they thought that would be a cool idea because it's like fucking hip, bro.
Yeah, probably.
They're like, that'll look rad, and it's like so diverse, and everybody's getting, yeah, man. And then it just looked like ass. Oh, hey, I just thought of something. Fucking like badass Chewbacca assassin, he punches Boba Fett with like electric brass knuckles.
Yeah, I remember
Why?
that too.
Are you trying to kill this bitch? Like, if instead of punching him with brass knuckles, he stabbed him, that probably would have killed him better.
Yeah, when he was in the diaper tank, that seems like it would have been pretty easy to, just slit his
fucking throat.
Yeah.
Or just like lock him in there and just put your thumb over the breathy hole. There you go. Dead.
Yeah, there you go. Just plug his nose. It's fine.
Just sit on top of the diaper tank lid and then just plug up the airway. You win.
So going back to like the chase thing too, it was really weird. Oh, did you have a point about the other thing?
No.
Oh, okay. So the mayor's little Corvette got stuck in a bunch of like dragon fruit.
Yeah.
Like, at what point does dragon fruit grow
on Tatooine?
Yeah,
that's a great point.
Great point. Great point. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like they had a real Aladdin moment with that, right?
Yeah.
Huh?
What?
Street market.
Yeah.
On the slave planet.
Yeah,
it's notorious for like
everybody being broke.
Yeah.
Totally. And then like one of the guys on the Vespa sees one of the like a group of pikes coming around the corner, and then he like calls into Boba on his little like hologram thing.
Now time had passed.
Time had passed. That's what was also weird. And then
Kelsey,
like,
did you not pick up on that? Time had passed in between those scenes.
I did not pick up on that at all.
I know, it was really weird and dumb. But there's all these pikes offloading off of ships, and then there's this dude with a droid eye and this bright red Vespa, and no one's like, who is that person?
Yeah, it would word would not have gotten out that these freaking idiots are hanging out with Boba Fett. So just keep an eye out for the highlighter colored Vespas.
So how do you guys know time passed?
Because they took a long time showing a ship landing and it was at a different place.
And and they were separated. So that's the only way that it would have made sense. But it was dumb the way they did it. I understand why you were confused.
And the mayor's number 2 being like, they're over here, they're over there. And like that was the scene was over at that point.
Oh. I just liked that Boba told the man droid kid, the cyborg, with the droid eye to keep an eye on the pipe. And it just got fucking awkward as hell.
Yeah, that was good.
He's all keep an eye on it, and then Fennec just gives him like a weird look, and he's like, "It's an expression." And then the droid kid is all like, "It's fine. I paid a lot of money for this eye," which also was weird because they couldn't work and they were poor as fuck.
Right, where they get money for eyes but not for water.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, does it? But it was a funny little line.
It was kind of weird.
Yeah. At the end of this episode, Mrs. Yeti was like, this show fucking sucks. And it was like, yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah.
We're going to keep watching it, but this is horrible.
Yeah.
It's not like The Mandalorian, that's for sure.
The
No.
Mandalorian's
And
a
that
lot
was
better.
my
This
other
sucks.
point. Like Jeff said, they did The Mandalorian so that they didn't have to deal with like Boba Fett. Like they wanted a Boba Fett-esque show, but not have it be Boba Fett.
Right.
So then when you make the Boba Fett show, why not just put the Mandalorian, all the great things, into Boba Fett?
Because now they got to make it different than the Mandalorian. So they've written themselves into two problems.
Yeah, you could even still have him be trying to like be a daimyo or whatever, and have him be badass like the Mandalorian. Like two things can happen at the same time, but they're like, no. We cannot be too much like the Mandalorian. We must be different.
I can think of like several scenes in the Mandalorian where the Mandalorian just starts fucking shit up. Like remember the one with Bill Burr when they're on the prison ship?
Yeah.
And like the lights are blinking red and like Mando's just murking dudes one by one. And like Bill Burr is like all freaking out. And he's like, what the fuck? Where are you, Mando? Where are you? And he just like, I'm right here. Like he did like a whole I'm Batman type of moment. Yeah. Boba Fett has had no cool moments this entire show. And some dick on Twitter was like, it's called character development. They're building towards it. It's like, fuck off, dude.
Like that's the thing though, like we don't have to build to him being a badass. Like he started out a badass and then you turned him into a puss. That is the character development. They broke the character down.
Well, and like a puss in his flashbacks and in his current day.
Right.
Like he's not a badass in any way. It's like he was a badass in the middle of his life and then fuck everything else.
He was a badass. The only other time was when he went and fought those bikers, and there was like that like husband and wife that were like, "Oh no, That was the only time that he did something badass, and
that's true. Like that is true.
The other thing though is even when the Mandalorian isn't doing like something super badass, he still thinks creatively to get out of problems. Whereas I don't feel like I've seen that with much of what Boba Fett did. Like with the Sand People, he did the whole like bike thing that was going to go up onto the train, and that was kind of creative, but like it's not part of his defining character to be problem solving, to like get out of a problem and like be self-sustaining. And I get that he's supposed to build this little army of minions, but he still should be able to be self-sustaining and think creatively to then build that army.
The Witcher, especially The Witcher season 2, is awesome because every time something's like going wrong or whatever, then Geralt shows up and it's just like, oh fuck yeah, here he goes, and then there he goes, and you just see him just start murking. There's never even a
or it's like anytime Thor shows up in the Marvel movies. Yeah, I'm talking over you. I'm sorry, but anytime Thor shows up and you're like, yay, he's gonna save the day.
Sorry. Yeah, but not Boba Fett. Good? Boba Fett's just a little bitch.
Yeah, Boba Fett just gets walked all over time after time. Like, for example, when you guys said how the mayor's assistant, he walks in the door and he locks it behind him. And then they're like, what's this? The door's locked. And then Finnick just does a weird little like move with a knife and now they're in. What a perfect opportunity for it. Like Boba could have grabbed that dude with the mustache and the mullet. He could have grabbed him by like the collar and he could have had a little ID badge on him. And he just could have shoved him against the wall. And then it goes boop and lets him in because he just like manhandles this guy. And he's like, nope, you ain't stopping me. But nah, dude, Finnick just figured it out with a knife.
Yeah.
And got them to change their mind about the appointments with her by being like, you'll see my gun.
Yeah, she like Boba Fett's holding a fucking gun. And she just signaled that she had a gun. And that was enough to be like, oh, I'm convinced now. It's like, you all have guns.
Well, and Boba Fett was like, that was a little heavy-handed, don't you think?
As he's holding a gun.
Like, that's not fucking heavy. What the fuck? This whole show is based on guns and lasers and shit.
I think it might have been to show that the gun she had looked a lot like Han Solo's gun. But it kind of had like a red dot sight on it. So it looked a little different. But it looked a lot like Han Solo's gun. I think is the only reason they would have done that, is to be like, I bet you Cody will be like, oh, that's because Finnick actually beat up Han Solo because she's so amazing.
I can't wait to hear Cody's review of our review.
Yeah, we're cutting into Cody's time now, by the way, because we're over an hour. So we're on Cody's time.
Jesus, how did we talk about that for an hour? All right, we got to go to bed. Yeah, the delirious ones.
Yes, this is true.
All right, but it was a good review. Later, boners.
Later, boners.
You get money for eyes, but not for water.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense, does it? But it was a funny little line.
It was kind of weird.
Yeah. At the end of this episode, Mrs. Yeti was like, "This show fucking sucks."